You've been listening to the president speak at the Republican convention moments after being formally nominated for president by the party. After vowing to have a positive convention, the president goes negative in its first moments. He started off falsely attacking mail-in voting. He's continuing to attack mail-in voting, and as his postmaster general testifies that the attacks are, quote, unhelpful. That's his own postmaster general. He also criticized the media for airing the postmaster's hearing instead of his roll call. He falsely accused Democrats of wanting to shut down the country to hurt the economy and somehow help them at the ballot box. Unclear how angering the entire country by shutting down would help them in the ballot box. He attacked North Carolina's governor for putting limits on crowds during a convention. Here now, John King, Dana Bash, Ryan Nobles is in Charlotte. John King, I mean, this was very similar. I mean, it is sort of all the most recent greatest hits and false statements by the president. And I imagine what we're going to hear a lot this week from the president, who clearly wants to be out front every single day.
It underscores the challenge, Anderson, for us in the news business, and really for people watching at home, if you are a voter who has not decided, if you are a voter who is not firm in your decision, to watch the next 4 days. Because this is a sad thing to say, but a lot of what you just heard from the President of the United States is wrong, misleading, or outright lies. Wrong, misleading, or outright lies. And the president knows that. He came in with a script. He started with a riff, right? He just decided to talk about himself. All the points you were just making about the mail-in voting, states across the country have done this for years, including Republican states. It increases turnout. There's very little fraud. The president knows that. Look at a state like Utah. Look at Colorado. Look at Washington State. And now in the middle of a pandemic, yes, just about every state is saying we have to have more mail-in voting, and they're working to do it. The states administer these elections. They do not decide we're only going to send ballots to Democrats or only send ballots to Republicans. The states don't do that. The secretaries of state, even though they're elected as Democrats or Republicans, some are appointed, tend to operate on a bipartisan basis, and they run their elections efficiently. Are they perfect? Absolutely not. A number of other things you mentioned. The president was talking about the economy. I will just say this again. He did have a very strong economy. His tax cuts early on in the administration did juice the economy. If you take the pandemic out of this, right, to be fair to the president, there are 11.5 million fewer Americans working today than in January 2020. That is because of the pandemic. Let's be fair to the president. Let's take 2020 off the map. In the final 4 months of the Obama administration, the economy created 7.1 million jobs. In the first 35 months of the Trump administration, the economy created 5.8 million jobs. Now, there are other ways to judge the economy, and you can come to the conclusion the Trump economy was stronger than the Obama economy. That's a perfectly fair place to land. But it was not like the economy was dead. The president inherited a very strong, vibrant, robust, job-creating economy, and he likes to convince people that he walked into a ditch and somehow turned everything around. So those are just a couple of examples. You mentioned the shutdown. If these states reopened more quickly, we know what happened. We know what happened when states started to reopen. That's when we had the summer surge of coronavirus cases. That is why the president's poll numbers are so bad. So when he criticizes these governors saying they're keeping their states closed to hurt him politically, those governors would say, and those governors are accountable to their old people, that they did that to try to save lives.